Before we get started, I want to remind everyone that the information in this presentation is not to be or construed as investment advice. The information presented are subject to change without notice, and while we have made every reasonable effort to ensure that the content is reliable and accurate, we have not independently verified the content and are not responsible for errors therein. Please consult a professional advisor before putting a loonie in any of these financial markets. Hi everybody, and welcome back to the IceCap Canadian Market Wrap. This week's episode 4, is about Canada's latest CPI release and how Canadian inflation is finally back to target. Let's get right into it. So the first chart of the week highlights what every politician and technocrat has been desperate to see. Headline inflation, otherwise known as the year-on-year change in consumer price index, has fallen down to 2%. Now the BOC's inflation control target and range is 2%, and it's between 1% and 3%. And as you can see on this chart, we finally got back there. However, I want to stress two things. One is that the price index, which is the light red line, as you can see in the background, is still rising. And that price levels, so this same series, if you compare it today to maybe several years ago, well, you can see there's been a major jump, and it doesn't look like we're ever going to return back to our previous trend. When we're looking at what goes on for each month, we separate the CPI basket into its main constituent components. And here we can see what's been the main drag and thrust for CPI over the month of August. And at the top of this list here, we can see alcoholic beverages and shelter, whereas at the bottom, you can see transportation and especially energy, which fell 1.4 and 1.6 respectively, and those were absolute main drags on CPI for this month. The next chart looks similar, and it's because it is, and it's because it's the same components, but instead of month on month, we've done year on year. And this is to give us sort of a broader feel. It's sort of the usual suspects. At the top, there's been a major contributor from shelter, which we're going to talk about in a minute. And at the bottom, you can see that declining energy prices, which have been dragged down by oil and gasoline, etc., are the main components that have been the reason that CPI have been dragging. You can see also that the core inflation is 2.4, and as we mentioned earlier, in that dark purple, that headline is 2.0. The next chart gives us a real good idea as to what's going on with goods and services. So the dark blue line on the right-hand side is goods inflation. As you can see, the rapid decline during COVID, and of course the spike when there was lots of stimulus and supply constraints in the market. And you can see the red line is services. And so what's really important to note is sort of the stark contrast between those two lines. The blue line is continuing to fall, like I said, driven down by apparel and especially energy, whereas the services inflation, although it fell month on month in August, remains well above the target band. So we mentioned shelter earlier. Within services, and by extension core inflation, shelter continues to have a huge, outsized, positive contribution to inflation. So the bottom panel is really interesting, and it shows you the shelter's contribution to core inflation. And you can see that for many, many years, it was actually quite stable and relatively low. And what we saw during COVID, due to mortgage interest rate costs, rent, rising house prices, we saw a huge jump in that contribution. Well, what's really important in this month's release is that contribution is starting to sustain its decline. I mentioned mortgage interest costs, and mortgage interest costs have played a big role in pushing up inflation over this cycle. These are related to higher Bank of Canada interest costs and also related to how everyone piled into these variable rate mortgages instead of fixed payment or fixed variable payment, etc. Mortgage interest costs have remained the largest contributor to headline inflation since December 2022. And if you remove this from headline inflation, you can see this red line shows you that we're actually back down to 1.2%, which is a quite amazing decline. As these rate hikes work themselves through the base effects, this impulse will disappear, and you'll see a rapid decline in that gray line. So we mentioned rent and shelter, and one of the big contributing factors to that larger component is this subcomponent, which is rental inflation. And at near all-time highs of 8.9% year on year, and it's elevated because of really strong population growth and, as a function of that, record low vacancy rates. However, there's growing evidence that rental inflation is actually peaked or behind us, and in some jurisdictions, we are actually seeing outright decline in rents. So 3 key measures that we always look at are the preferred measures of core inflation by the BOC. Those inflation measures have returned to target, as you can see from the chart. However, when you consider the fact that consumption's been really weak, retail sales have been flat for a long time, and unemployment is actually rising, this actually might hint at a much weaker economy. And so this is sort of a red flag going forward. This next chart is sort of what I hope might happen rather than what may happen. And so despite this economic weakness and lower inflation, I hope that the BOC resists the urge to lower interest rates below the rate of inflation. So in other words, keep real interest rates positive. And you can see on this chart that there's a shaded red area and a shaded green area. And it's my view that this is where Canadian monetary policy went wrong. In 2010, where you see the shaded area that's green, it means that interest rates were below core inflation and they stayed there. And in my view, that it fueled a housing bubble and siphoned capital away from more productive non-residential CapEx and hurt productivity growth. The last chart really sort of shows what we at IceCap tend to look at. And we like to focus on risks or what the market might be getting wrong, what could catch people sort of offsides in their assessment going forward. And for us, it's, again, inflation. So despite the fact that inflation has fallen back to target and core inflation is on its way down, there are some indicators, and specifically our IceCap inflation model, that suggest that over the next 6 to 12 months, we might get a surprise to the upside. Producer prices are starting to increase, and the pass-through effects of the Canadian dollar suggest that actually we might have seen the low end of this inflation print, and it's just absolutely something to keep an eye on. Anyway, so that's a wrap. Thank you very much for listening. Please like, subscribe, and follow for more. And as always, feel free to get in touch.